Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel. Today we've got race number 24 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series season. The BL Transport 170 at Mid-Ohio Motorsports Park. So we are about to get ready here, road course racing. It's the final road course race of the regular season before we get to the playoffs. So this is going to be pretty fun, to say the least. We come into this race with about a 37-point lead over Austin Cindric right now in the point standing, so we have the opportunity to be a full race ahead after today. But we do know Austin Cindric is a very good road course racer, if not the best road course racer in the NASCAR Xfinity Series currently, so he might be a tough one to beat today. So there's a good chance you might see the 54 and the 22 right near each other at some point in time. Rafael Perez, called 88, welcome to the stream. We get set for session qualifying as usual here for these road course races. 2 laps for Kyle Busch in the opening round. And we'll see where that will get him for the following round. A lot of elevation changes at this racetrack. This racetrack's actually in my home state, for those of you that did not know. From Northwest Ohio. I'm actually closer to Michigan International Speedway. It takes about an hour and a half for me to get to MIS, but to Mid-Ohio it's about a 2-hour drive or so. I actually have never seen the racetrack. It's just south of Columbus, if I'm not mistaken. I definitely would like to go there even for just an Xfinity race at some point in time. Maybe even get there for an IndyCar race too. So this is the warm-up lap in round 1 for Busch. The top 12 will advance into round number 2. Just 2 rounds of session qualifying when it comes to these road course races. For Kyle Busch, trying to make the next 2 races easier on himself with a great run today at Mid-Ohio to hopefully lock up that regular season championship earlier rather than later. Still 9 different winners on the season so far, as he's been locking up a lot of wins recently. Kyle comes into this race with a 6-race win streak that is currently a NASCAR record in any of the top 3 series in NASCAR for consecutive wins. Black Ace, Patrick Shadley, welcome to the stream. Definitely got to tiptoe your way around this racetrack. A lot of sharp, low speed corners, high braking zones. And with the elevation changes, very easily you can get your car in a very hairy situation. You're going to see, well, I should say you guys have seen, between the warm-up lap and the actual lap running right now, Kyle Busch very rarely gets out of second gear around this racetrack. First lap, not too bad though. Should be quick enough to get him to the next round, I'd have to imagine. Didn't really push it too hard there. Was going to run 2 laps, but 1 lap is good enough. 9th fastest in round number 1. Harrison Burton, top of the charts in round 1 and qualifying there as well. Be aggressive, yet be patient, and wreck Cindric if you get... Nah, I'm not going to wreck Cindric, but... Oh, I sim the racetrack.
Time to go now.
Yeah, it's actually the first time I've raced at Mid-Ohio for NASCAR Heat 5. Obviously, the other 2 series don't race there, and we have not raced here yet on the Xfinity Series. Hopefully we can perform well here today, because we do go to this racetrack again once the playoffs start. It's the only road course in our custom schedule playoffs for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So 10 minutes to try and set a quick time here. He was a little wide in turn number 2. Short little kink on the longest straightaway of the racetrack right there. It's the highest speed portion on this racetrack. Accidentally downshifted to first gear there, but no problem. Just the warm-up lap for Kyle Busch this time as he'll start his first lap of this round. He's going to run all the way to the end of the round if he needs to try and set the quick time. He's going to push it as hard as he can. He didn't really push it as hard as he could on that one lap he ran in the opening round. He knew he had a fast enough car. As long as he hit his marks, he was going to make it. Joshua White, welcome to the stream. Good run through turn 2 there by Busch. One of the more patient corners you have to be on this racetrack. When getting back to the gas, don't want to get back to the gas too early. Big bounce off the curb there, but it actually kind of settled the car down. Really good set of corners there to finish the lap for Kyle Busch. At the line, it is a 122.789. That is about a second and a half quicker than what he ran back in round 1. Remember, he qualified 9th in round 1. And Harrison Burton might be the guy to beat in qualifying here because he was the top of the charts in that opening round as well. Didn't see where Cindric was in the opening round. I'd have to imagine he made it to the second round, but Busch still top of the charts there. 5 drivers have completed the lap. You see Harrison Burton's up to 3rd. Not by much. Separating the top 2, Kyle Busch and Noah Gragson on the leaderboard. Barely over a tenth of a second. Not even a tenth of a second, I should say. Vinnie Miller top of the charts, 122.653. Miller showing up with some speed today. Could you imagine if Vinnie Miller could pull off a miracle upset to get his way into the playoffs? This is probably the last wild card race before the playoffs start. No more super speedways. Road course races have produced different winners at times. Might not think of Vinnie Miller as one of the better road course ringers, but if he could pull off an upset today, that would be huge. Just 2 races to go until the regular season after this one, which will be coming up tomorrow night, and then another one, the regular season finale at Richmond, will be on Tuesday. First lap was still quicker there for Kyle Busch. Got about 5.5 minutes here. He's going to run one more lap unless he messes. He's going to push it hard. And as usual, 4 sets of tires is the max that we can go through over the course of a race in the Xfinity series. 4 fresh sets of tires, I should say. That's not counting the set that we start off with. So Vinnie Miller has about a tenth of a second advantage here on Kyle Busch, but Kyle's ran a really good 3rd lap. It is going to be really close to decide who will top the charts here in qualifying. Kyle trying to go for that 3rd pole of the season. And his second on a road course, 122.480. Kyle Busch, top of the charts again. Vinnie Miller, 2nd. Gragson, 3rd. Burton, 4th. And Alex LeMay, good road course ringer, rounding out the top 5 in qualifying right now. Jeremy Clements up to 2nd. His only career win came at Mid-Ohio. 122.567. That holds him in 2nd place right now. It's about a little over 0.08 of a second behind Kyle Busch. So again, not a wide margin between 1st and 2nd there. Busch is going to overrun turn number 3. I should say turn 4 if you count the kink on the straightaway, but regardless of the fact, that's not going to be a fast lap by Busch, so Kyle will bring it to pit road this time. Put 4 fresh tires back on the car, try to get back out there to hopefully set a quick time. No sign of Austin Cindric in the top 5 at least, but I'd have to imagine he will be there when the race starts. Kyle Busch will be coming to pit road here. 40 miles per hour is the pit road speed limit at Mid-Ohio for today's race, so he gets to practice a pit stop at least. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. Here we go. Diamond Jeff, welcome to the stream. Yep, this is Mid-Ohio. Seem to be very smooth here. Yeah, I mean, I typically run the road courses pretty well for the most part. You guys saw me on that career mode episode. I was very aggressive at the Roval, but I knew what I had to do in a short race. If it was a full race, I wouldn't have raced that aggressively, but in a race that was only 14 laps, I knew I had to get the most out of what I needed in the career mode there. Plus, I knew we had a slower car. I could trust the equipment on the championship mode. R6R6, welcome to the stream. And so here we go. Busch with that 122.480 is still at the top of the leaderboard right now. How about Colby Howard making it even to the final round of qualifying here? It's pretty good for him. Busch on his warm-up lap, gonna hopefully get around him easily. He's got pressured tires too, that'll definitely help. A little late in the braking zone there in turn 2, but that's okay for now. Ross Chastain's lap is not going to be a good one. Howard in his way. They're set battling with each other back there. By the time Kyle Busch gets to the line, he's only going to be able to do 1 lap. But he's got fresh tires again, so we'll see what he can do. So Kyle's going to get 1 lap to try and up the time. We'll see if that time he currently has will be good enough if he can't top it on this final lap. Got through the final set of corners pretty well there. Here we go. Really hard through the shifting in turn number 1. Almost went wide. He used that curbing to his advantage on the exit of the corner. Not bad through turn 2. Oh, that was a solid entry to the corner that time. We know how much track position means in any series when it comes to road course racing. Road course racing, some of the more difficult tracks to pass on. A little bit of a power slide, accidentally went to first gear there. He actually made it work out though. Kyle Busch is given this one good run. Still at the top of the charts for now. We'll have to wait when he crosses the line for the cars behind him to finish, but this lap is likely going to be his fastest, and it is. 122.371, about a 1/10 of a second quicker than his original fastest lap. Top of the charts, Kyle Busch on the pole for the 3rd time this season by almost 2/10 of a second over Jeremy Clements. You went to Mid-Ohio to watch the IndyCar race today? Oh, that's pretty cool, Diamond Jeff. Pretty cool. Hopefully you had some fun. Were you there yesterday? I don't know if I would assume they had fans for both races, but so we take a look here. Austin Cindric did not qualify well at all. 16th. He didn't even make it to the final round. That's pretty interesting here. Give me one quick moment, And I am going to change out my controller because this one's low on battery before I get started. So, in one quick moment, we'll get to racing here pretty soon. Alright, we're back. It was only there for today. 75 laps. Yep, this race 75 laps too. I'm surprised that was only 75 laps with IndyCar. A long Xfinity race, that is for sure. But nevertheless, here we go. So Kyle Busch will be starting on the pole for the third time this season and the second time on a road course. Qualified on the pole back at Watkins Glen. Also qualified outside pole at Road America, so he's been really good with qualifying. Been very up and down. He dominated the Watkins Glen Xfinity race. Finished 18th at Road America. We'll see what he's got in Mid-Ohio today. Green flag will be in the air. Kyle Busch will lead the field to the green. We're underway. My home state. Turn one, lap one. Busch gets the advantage on Clements, but Clements tries to cross him over. Busch holds the clean air on in front of him there. And we get to watch Austin Cindric try to work his way through the field, starting 16th. There's a big bounce off the curb there through turn two by Busch. Clements to the inside. He tries to move him. Made a little bit of contact. Clements got to the back bumper of Busch, more like the right rear corner panel. Tried to give him a little bump and run. Couldn't quite get it done there. Busch on the brakes there a little too early almost because Jeremy Clements really closed the gap. Noah Gragson, meanwhile, trying to get around him. Alex Labbé's moved up. Vinnie Miller, who qualified third, lost a couple spots off the start there. Clements got a good run there, but Busch beats him back to the gas again. It just shows one of the more narrow road courses in any of the top three series of NASCAR. Not a lot of passing lanes around this racetrack, but Clements is doing the best he can right now. Trying to make a move. He's got to be careful widening out that corner, arcing it off like he did. Gragson might get around him, but meanwhile, it's Alex Labbé who goes to the outside now to get around Noah Gragson for third. Labbé does have a win this season. Remember, he ended up winning back at Pocono. He's a really good road course racer, maybe looking for more playoff points to get that second win of the season, perhaps. Oh, man, a little wide off of turn two. Yeah, I did see the Sunoco rookie sign side of the car. I noticed that when you pointed it out the last time we had the Xfinity stream. It is weird. Kyle Busch holding his own at the front of the field right now on Jeremy Clements. A second ahead. Kyle Busch having a great run in the early going here. Just a couple laps in though, and tire management gonna have to likely be an issue. Not a large fuel window here at Mid-Ohio for these Xfinity Series cars. So in a 75 lap event, we'll have to see how that's going to work over the course of the race today. Diamond Jeff, you from Ohio then? Being at the Mid-Ohio race today, or were you just traveling out of state for the week? I think it was your mom like a week ago got a comment. I just got it earlier today about you guys going to a race. She didn't say which one, but I would have to assume it was probably the Mid-Ohio race. That was pretty cool. Hopefully you had fun. Small world, man, small world. Nice. Alex LeBay trying to get around Jeremy Clements for second place right now. They're about 2 seconds off the lead. Something's telling me I think Clements has a decent car, but a winning car compared to Kyle Busch. It just doesn't seem like it. We'll see if Alex LeBay can get around him here before long and see if LeBay can try to run down Kyle Busch. As well as Noah Gragson back there in 4th place. We'll see if he's faster too. But Alex LeBay started 5th. He moved up to 3rd. He's trying to work on 2nd place. Cautions out for the first time today at lap 4. We've been having a lot of early cautions in the Xfinity series as of late, and we have one here. So lap 4, first yellow of the race. Vinnie Miller going to hit pit road here. Not sure if that's a strategy call or if he was the cause of the caution. Matt Mills, Jeff Green at the rear of the field will also top off. Kyle Busch is going to keep the track position as well as a large part of the field, so we'll bunch him back up again, get right back to green flag. Yeah, it was. Yeah, her name was Tricia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I know she said my son and I were going to a race, or my son was going to a race, or something of that nature, but... Green flag back in the air. Here we go. Alex LeBay restarting right behind Busch, but Clements closes the door behind. Great restart by Kyle, a lot better than what he had at the initial start there. Kyle drives it in pretty deep into turn 2. Look at the runoff he got too. Great first 2 corners on the opening lap of the restart from Kyle Busch. LeBay all over the back bumper though for 2nd place, followed by Gragson. Josh Bilicki's up to 5th. I do think LeBay is faster than Clements. Oh man, bless me. That snuck up on me. Sorry for that. Clements fended off LeBay, and it looks like Noah Gragson got to his outside, kind of slowing LeBay up a little bit. So the pressure's off for the moment on Clements. Kyle Busch has led the first 7 laps of the race here today. Gotcha, Jeff. Well, hopefully you had fun. Sounds like it should have been a good time. Never have a bad time at the racetrack, that's for sure. Oh, man. Oh, wide there by Busch. Slight misjudgment on the brakes. Noah Gragson did pass LeBay, by the way, for third place. And quickly pulled away from him because now Bilicki and LeBay battle for fourth. So Alex took too long to try and get around Jeremy Clements, and that definitely costed him. And as Busch pulls away from Clements, Noah Gragson is running Clements down himself. So we'll see if Gragson might be able to try and get up here for second place, and maybe he can make a run at his old boss, Kyle Busch. Bounce off the curb. Busch couldn't get back to the gas as early as he wanted to. Four-second lead now for Busch. Fast car number 1, clean air number 2. Kyle Busch just being the man in the Xfinity Series here in the second half of the season. Gragson within a second now of Clements. Well, 2 seconds behind Gragson is LeBay. We're going to alternate through the camera angles for the different camera angles, I should say, for the first time in the race today. Once we get back to the start-finish line here, we'll have 10 laps complete at the line. Really get to show you the elevation changes on this racetrack. Especially through the in-car cam. You can see the amount of bumps on the straightaways here. A little bit of a ripple effect that they have. High-speed portion of the racetrack before getting on the brakes, right around 170 miles an hour. All the way down to about 60 just to make turn number 3 around this racetrack. Accidentally dropped at the first gear there. Slipped the tire slightly, but not too bad. Road course racing on this game in general is just all about staying smooth. Make one mistake, it could cost you quite a bit. Luckily enough for Busch, he's got about a 7-second buffer back to second. Gragson has once again caught Jeremy Clements. Just under 7 seconds off the lead now, but they're practically bumper to bumper. Busch misses the braking zone and he's in the sand off in turn 2. He gets back on the track pretty quickly, though. That's going to lose him a little bit of time. I mean, he barely And I mean, barely missed the braking zone, but that's all it takes sometimes. Very fortunate that he only lost a second of time on the track, because that could have been a lot worse than what it actually ended up being. Turn 2, really a blind corner when you're in the center of the corner. Not so much on entry, you just kind of slid the tires a little too much. Whether it was downshifting too early or just late to the brakes. Just kind of slid the tires just a little too much there, but he's still good. He's still got a decent lead. Alistair Moore, welcome to the stream. Go to the hood cam next at the start-finish line this time. As we stated every time we come to road course racing, both with NASCAR Heat 4 and NASCAR Heat 5, and those tires get below 30% tire wear, they get very, and I mean very worn out. And I think that's where you're going to start to see Kyle Busch lose a little bit of his lead unless we get a caution just before then. But boy, Gragson LeBay definitely have to get around, and look at who's coming through the field. Austin Cindric is up to 5th. Remember, he qualified poorly, started back in 16th. So 16th starting spot, not too good, of course, for Austin Cindric, but he has worked himself up to 5th. And Noah Gragson has just passed Jeremy Clements now for 2nd. Oh, and Clements got right back at him. Costing each other a lot of time. Battling for 2nd as hard as they are. Really, 2nd through 5th are all under a blanket right now. And Jeremy Clements is losing a ton of spots. He goes from 2nd to 5th in a matter of a couple corners. And Alex LeBay has jumped up to 2nd place all of a sudden. 9 seconds off the lead. And now Gragson and LeBay battle for 2nd place. Cindric just got passed again by Clements, so the 4 of those guys just trading spots back and forth all of a sudden. And that's going to allow Kyle Busch to pull away with his lead more and more, but if we get those faster cars up to 2nd, 3rd, 4th place like LeBay and Cindric seem to be, and maybe even Noah Gragson. But I think LeBay and Cindric probably have the 2 best cars along with Kyle Busch. They just didn't have the track position at the start of the race. Busch qualified on the pole. That helped him quite a bit. Handful of laps still before we have our first green flag stop of the race today. Again, unless we get a caution beforehand. Still 61 laps to go. So 15 laps will be complete at the start-finish line this time. Runs here, he's getting more and more comfortable. No practice, but we did have a total of about 5 laps in qualifying between rounds 1 and 2 combined, so that was definitely nice. Got to practice a pit road entry in case we do have green flag stops today, and we are going to have them very shortly here. Left front tire down to 26% tire wear, so you can really, I don't know how much you guys can necessarily see it, but I can definitely feel the car slipping out. Kyle sliding around quite a bit, especially on top of the curbs. That's where he's losing the most traction, it seems like. But you have to hit the curbs to be consistent around this racetrack. 60 laps to go. Gragson gained about a half a second that last lap because of it. Andrew Hollenbach, welcome to the stream. Even on these older tires, I mean, you can see the interval between Busch and Gragson not changing a whole lot. And Gragson gained a half a second the last lap. We'll have to see this coming lap how much he's going to be able to gain. Although Busch is sliding around quite a bit, for the most part, he's keeping good car control. And he can back these corners up a little bit more with having as big of a lead as he does right now. So that's part of why you're not really seeing him overdrive the car with this old of tires. Taking it very easy. Oh man, kind of tapped the wall in the final corner there. Didn't really hurt it too much though. A really bad wheel spin. Brought Gragson about a second faster that last lap instead of a half a second like the lap before. Cindric up to fourth again. Finishing corners seem to be the toughest for Kyle Busch. This last 2 to 3 corners on the track, a lot worse than even the middle portion of the racetrack on these older tires. Alex Labey has jumped up to second place, passing Noah Gragson. And all of a sudden is about 8 seconds off the race lead. Kyle Busch going to stay out of the pits one more lap. So Kyle Busch will be coming to pit road this next time. He'll run the fuel tank all the way down. You can definitely tell Labey's got a fast race car. He's pulled now to within 5.5 to 6 seconds off the lead. No lap traffic that Busch has had to deal with yet in the race today. Wow, what a slide. Thought he wasn't going to get that car to turn there for a second, but ended up snapping around and turning right when he needed to at the last second. About a half a lap to go for Busch to bring it down to pit road, so he's gonna just kind of nurse it around here. Austin Cindric, meanwhile, up to third as he has passed Noah Gragson. So Cindric is slowly but surely coming through the field. You got two great road course racers right now running second and third.
Bring it in here. You're well on again.
Well, big power slide that time.
Your tires are getting pretty bad.
About 2 to 3 more corners though for Busch. And he'll be able to come to pit road. And here we go. So Kyle Busch taking that access road, 40 miles per hour is the pit road speed limit. So make his way into the pits for the first time today. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. 2 seconds of damage, but Busch will save that time. Not repair, the damage really not affecting the car right now. Watching the Saints and Bucks game. Go Saints. Yeah, hey, I got Drew Brees and Michael Thomas on my fantasy team, so in a sense, I'm kind of pulling for him. I do have Rob Gronkowski on my fantasy team too, though, so I guess he needs to hopefully have a good game also.
Okay, get back in there. Let's go.
Back out onto the racetrack now for Kyle Busch. Justin Allgaier, Josh Bilicki, both pitted. under the caution, so that's why, well, at least Bilicki did, I believe. Maybe they didn't. They might not have pit. Really tough to say, actually, but regardless of whether they pitted or not, they can go at least a little bit further, it seems like. At least this lap. Allgaier with a win this year. Bilicki does not have a win. The only caution we had came out back on lap 4 in this race. We've gone caution-free ever since. We've gone through green flag stops here. Lap 20 this time by Alex LeBay, about 5 seconds back from Kyle Busch. So this is where we're really going to be able to see, does LeBay have as fast of a car as Busch? They're both on equal fresh tires. We saw LeBay trimming that down once he got to second place and got away from Gragson and Cindric and those guys. He was closing that gap. But Busch was on really old tires as well, and we know the handling of his car went away those last 4 or 5 laps of the run. But now, we'll just have to wait and see, as nobody is in between Busch and LeBay now, as Busch was able to lead that last lap, I believe, at the line. He might not have. He might not be a lead change until this lap, but caution is out on the racetrack. At lap 20, caution's out for the second time today. And this will bunch that field back up. Jesse Little, Michael Annett, who did not hit pit road there, will pit. Josh Williams, Vinnie Miller as well will pit. It's like Colby Howard back there. So a lot of the guys that pitted under that first yellow definitely hitting pit road again under caution number 2. As well as some of the drivers that have not pitted yet. So here we go. Indeed, first game Brady has not played in the Patriots uniform. It was definitely weird. I did see him coming out onto the field. I saw the first couple plays of the game. That was it before I started working on that career mode episode. So here we go.
You're coming to the green.
Now we really get to see who's got the faster car between Busch and LeBay. Green flag back in the air. Kyle's led the most laps by far here today. And outside of that little bit of pit strategy, he's led all but 1 lap. So good restart though for Kyle. Austin Cindric got a good restart back there in 3rd place also. So the top 3 drivers on the track running 1, 2, 3. But what order are they the fastest? We'll have to wait and see. Busch almost gave it away there through turn 2. He was just able to clear LeBay and beat him back to the gas. Now he's able to pull him. So hard to pass here too. Kyle Busch having the clean air advantage. Definitely helping out right now, but oh, he struggled right there through turn 3 as well. LeBay puts the bumper to Busch. A little contact, tried to get the bump and run going, but he couldn't quite do it. I should say he couldn't capitalize on it. He definitely did it. Cindric is all over the back bumper of that 36 car right now, too. Oh, and he's going to get under him. He's going to have the advantage there. He's going to have the disadvantage to the next 2 turns, though. Can he stay with him? Side by side at the line between Cindric and LeBay now for second. Cindric saying, well, LeBay, you had your chance. You couldn't get around him. Now it's my turn. As Cindric and Busch battle for that regular season points championship. Oh, my goodness, they're 3 wide off of turn 1. Gragson all the way to the outside. They file back down to about 2 by 2. Cindric actually clears everyone. And look at Brandon Jones in the mix. Where did Brandon Jones come from? He's trying to get up to 3rd. Meanwhile, Cindric trying to pull away from those guys behind as he tries to catch up now to Kyle, who has about a 2-second lead after they battled back there. About a half a lap. How quickly Busch was able to pull away from those guys while they were running side by side. Feels so much slower going side by side on these road courses, especially here at Mid-Ohio. These very tight turns, high braking zones. It definitely slows you down quite a bit compared to Busch, especially when Kyle's got the clean air. Cindric is still not DNF'd yet this season. That's why he's still in the hunt for this championship. Regular season championship, that is. Kyle Busch has only DNF'd once this season. And that is another reason why Kyle's even leading it. He's had some bad luck here and there, but all in all, he's only DNF'd once. How about Brandon Jones in third? But again, Alex Abey, he had his shot. I think he's got a fast car. He just couldn't capitalize on the situation, and he is now falling back to fourth. Allgaier's found his way back up to fifth. Yeah, coincidentally enough, Austin Cindric clinched the regular season championship in the Xfinity Series. Wouldn't that be weird if he ended up winning it here too? How accurate the game would be in that aspect. He's definitely put up a fight. He's got a couple wins. Not the first time we see Busch almost getting out-braked in that zone, and Cindric is coming in. How about Brandon Jones? He's within 2.5 seconds of the lead. He's clicking away some fast laps too. Oh, wow. Cindric drove that in deep. Cindric drove that car in way deep, and he is right there with Kyle Busch. Kyle really never made a mistake. All in all, a little bit of a hiccup. 25 laps complete now here today. Pretty good through turn one that time by Busch. Cindric 37 points back for that regular season title coming into today. We expected these two were going to be two of the favorites coming into the race, and that seems to be the case right now. A lot more on the line for Cindric, though, with Busch having the advantage, having the points lead. Busch's worst racetrack still to come, though. Richmond, as far as the Xfinity Series goes, that's my worst track. So that is the regular season finale. We go to Homestead next. We're just going to have to wait to see how that's going to work out. But first, we got to get through today. Some corners Busch is better, some corners Cindric's better. It just really varies. He is not going away, and if these two get side by side often enough, you might see Brandon Jones try to close the gap faster and faster there. Oh, wow. Cindric almost overdrove the corner. Busch really pulled him. Not by much, though. Cindric actually still got back to the gas fairly well. That curb really helped Busch turn that time. Oh, that was a big bounce off the curb by Busch through turn two. Here comes Cindric. Almost got there. Kind of got pinched off at the last second. It's just a tight exit to the corner. These guys are racing hard. Great battle for the lead going on right now. As if it's the last couple laps, but we still have just less than 50 to go. Another advantage for Busch is that he has the clean air. Roles were reversed, we might even see Cindric pull away. It's tough to tell. But Busch does not want to find out if Cindric absolutely has the fastest car or not, because if Cindric gets the lead, Busch might not be able to get it back. We've only had 2 cautions today. We have had races on road courses where we have not had a lot of cautions. Look back to Road America, we only had 1 caution that entire race. Earlier this season, Watkins Glen, I believe we only had 3, so Busch might not get a shot at Cindric if he gets around him and starts to pull away. There's been no lap traffic so far for the leaders. We've been close right before that last caution. We were in the middle of green flag stops. That was about it. So we don't know how that's going to play a factor if we ended up getting to that point at all either. Brandon Jones still clinging in there. He's about 3 seconds back. LeBay has fallen back to 5th, actually. Justin Allgaier up to 4th. And Allgaier's won on this racetrack in his Xfinity Series career as well. And he has run well on the road courses this season also. So don't count Allgaier out of it. Can't count any of these guys out of it, really. Junior car 17, welcome to the stream. Big bounce off the curb, that time by Busch. Cindric is there again. Wow, Cindric got that car to turn well on the curbing that time. They're both holding these corners so nice and tight, though. Busch really pulled him and beat him back to the gas that time. Again, Busch has led all but one lap today, but he has had more pressure during this green flag run than any other of the two green flag runs prior. They both got their turn two really well. Both used the curbing to the advantage. I definitely think you're looking at the two fastest cars here. It's just a matter of who actually has the fastest car between these two. But that's been the case most of the year. Busch trying to keep that win streak alive too. This would be 7 in a row to add on to the record he already holds for consecutive wins in any of the top 3 series in NASCAR. That was the fastest lap Busch has ran today. I should say fastest lap of the race, and now he goes wide meanwhile. Off of turn number 1, and here comes Cindric again. Into the high braking zone now, into turn 2. Busch runs the protective line, big bounce off the curb. Cindric is there. Busch beats him back to the gas. That was 7 1/1000ths of a second off from his qualifying time, which had him sit the pole. In fact, Cindric was able to go from 16th up to 2nd place right now, too. Goes to show how fast his car is. Very tough to pass, but he got up through the field in the first 20 laps of the race. He's just been sitting behind Busch for about the last 6 or 7, if not more. Definitely going to work on racing him clean, that's for sure. I'll race him aggressively, but I'll race him clean. $45 to go. Well, I'll race him clean if he races me clean. That's the way I usually race people. So far, these two have put on a pretty clean showing. Oh, Cindric beats him back to the gas, but he just can't get to that corner panel. He was able to a couple times, but he can't stay there is the problem with the tight exits to these corners. But if he can stay there, he can get a big side draft. Oh, Busch hard on the brakes through turn number 3, and here comes Cindric. He's there that time. No, Busch able to clear him. Wow. Jones started slipping back, but he's starting to cut back into the lead again. Luckily, these tires aren't completely worn out on the 54 car either, but they will be in a few laps, you'd have to imagine. Still 3 sets of tires left. Just to keep that in mind throughout the course of this race. getting closer and closer to the halfway mark as well in this one tonight. Angel, welcome to the stream. R6R6, welcome. Wider entry to the corner. That actually really helped Busch on corner exit. Pretty solid there through turn 2. Brandon Jones was falling to about 4 seconds off the lead again. And I would have to assume by the middle of this lap, Kyle Busch's left front's going to be below 30%, and he's going to be hanging on for dear life with that race car again. But the problem is, he was able to back up the corners pretty well, so it might not have phased him as much last time. But this time, on the other hand, he's got company. So he can't be backing out of these corners earlier this time. We do have lap traffic likely coming up in about a lap or two. That could definitely pay some dividends. Oh, Cindric is there! Wow, what a move! He just drove it in there really deep. Got right back on by Busch, but now Busch sends it in deep into the next corner. How are they making these turns side by side? Austin Cindric to the lead for the first time today. What a move in turn 3. I mean, Busch didn't really leave the door open. Cindric just took it away. And now he's driving away. Slowly but surely. Lap traffic will probably come next lap. See Busch really starting to slide around now. Still 42 laps left. Oh wow, he saw the 22 car really bottom out there as he gets side by side with the lap traffic down the longest straightaway of the racetrack. But he got around that lap car pretty easily there of Jeff Green. Busch is going to have to do the same. And Busch is going to try to get around Green quickly into turn 3, and he does. So that's about as easily as he could have gotten around that lap car. A little bit of space, but then there's another 2 lap cars coming up. Not too far out in the distant future for these guys. Mike Harmon, Austin Hill right there. Busch had to get out of the gas. Cindric has led 2 laps now, but Harmon could be holding him up. I think he is. Cindric trying to make a move on him now. Busch trying to get a little bit of a draft. He's got a big run. Oh, he sends it into the corner. 3 wide for the lead. Kyle Busch takes it back in turn 2 from Austin Cindric. What a move. Cindric was struggling to get around Harmon for a quick second there. And now Busch is going to get around Austin Hill. Cindric, oh, trying to follow, and Hill about put him in the grass. Oh my goodness. I don't think Hill realized that Cindric was coming. Busch slides the tires into turn 3. Still makes the corner. Heck of a battle for the lead going on right now. Back and forth, go to the top 2. Brandon Jones now within about 2.5 seconds of the lead. Busch is really sliding the tires quite a bit. Oh, Cindric almost got to his back bumper that time. And there he goes, but he couldn't clear him. Cindric had the opportunity there, but he couldn't take it away. Are they going to make it into the next turn? Oh, there's contact. 54-22, crowd on their feet. There's still side. Oh, Cindric door slams him back. Oh, he gets loose and Cindric goes around. He's in the wall, pushes in the wall. They wrecked each other for the win, or for the lead. Unbelievable. Oh, man. I could not. Cindric and Busch giving it all they've got. Busch tried to clear him. He couldn't clear him. There was contact. 2 corners later, Cindric gives Busch the door. Busch gave it back to him. Well, I should say Busch didn't even give it back to him. Cindric just lost control in the final corner there, and then all of a sudden he spun right back into Busch, and they both go around. Oh my goodness. And that is going to hurt Busch. He came in with a 37-point lead on Cindric. And that lead is going to go away, because he is going to get 1 point for finishing last today. And that is only his second DNF of the year. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that happened. That is insane. I mean, it was a heck of a battle going on there, but you almost got to say they were too aggressive with still half the race to go. In just 2 races before the playoffs. That points lead all of a sudden has dwindled. And the win streak is over now for Kyle Busch. 1 point as he finishes dead last in 36. We'll take a look at the running order in today's race. And Austin Cindric gets his 3rd win of the season and now has the points lead. After Busch and him get together, racing hard for the lead halfway through the race. They both got in an accident. Cindric comes back to win. And he's got the lead in the points once again by just 2 points. Kyle Busch is back behind Cindric again this season. Unbelievable. So Cindric with the win is 3rd of the year. Hemrick finishes 2nd. Allgaier 3rd. Gregson 4th. LeBay 5th. Brandon Jones 6th. Justin Haley 7th. And you got Josh Williams in 8th. 9th was Josh Bilicki, and Chase Briscoe rounds out the top 10 here. Man. You hate to see something like that happen. Unbelievable. There's a good chance we might have another stream coming up today after that DNF, but it is going to have to be in a little bit because I'm going to have to get something to eat here. So, if not, the Homestead is tomorrow. But if we do stream again, it will be within an hour. Unbelievable. What a... Wow. What a season it's been for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. But that is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general, hit the like button down below, but most importantly, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We got daily full race live streams with a realistic broadcast. I'll see you guys, if not later today, tomorrow. Next race will be Homestead for the Xfinity Series. 2 races until the playoffs. Austin Cindric back in the points lead with a win today at Mid-Ohio. After him and Busch get tangled together, Busch crashes out. The inconsistent season continues for Kyle. A 2-point difference between the top 2 going into later today. And that is going to do it again for this one. And I'll see you guys in the next one at Homestead.